So there are now 2 more pitches remaining. I'd like to now invite our penultimate finalist, Monica, representing Lambda Agri, up onto stage to deliver her pitch next. Please, can we all give her a round of applause?
Hello, my name is Dr. Monica Saavedra, founder and CTO of Lambda Agri, where we give better light to plants. Since I can remember, I always wanted to fight food poverty. Once an adult, I was able to join charities that shared the same ethos. These are the kinds of images I used to see in the 80s and the 90s on television. But this is not then. This is now. 800 million people are starving, and 2 billion are food insecure. That's 1 in every 4 of us. And what's more, climate change will force us to grow food in more controlled environments, such as greenhouses, to protect the crops from extreme weather and to safeguard our water. However, growers are struggling to break even, and that will stifle their expansion. But what if I were to tell you that there is a way to increase crop yields by 9% that is low cost, highly scalable, and requires no electricity to run? We have that product, and it's an active paint that you can spray coat on the outside of greenhouses. Anyone can do it, a grower can do it, and they can do so at scale. The grower can also take back home £17,000 of extra revenue per acre per year, with a payback period of less than 2 years and a return on investment of 8 times. What is the secret ingredient? We design and make a novel molecule that converts UV light that plants don't use to red light that plants do use for photosynthesis, for making your food. I have something for you. This is the uncoated side, and this is the coated side of the greenhouse glass. It glows red when I shine a UV torch onto it. And this is what will save 100 kilotons of CO2 per year by 2050. That's the equivalent of 7,000 London buses. How? By substituting artificial lighting that is commonly used in greenhouses today with a passive solution that uses natural sunlight. I bought those raspberries from the supermarket just yesterday, and can you see where they're from? They're from Morocco. For every ton of fruit that we import into the UK, 10 tons of CO2 are released into the atmosphere. That's a carbon footprint that can be saved by simply optimizing the light that plants get wherever they are in the world. I left my clicker. Can you tell which of the boxes has been coated with our paint? It's the right one, where plants look healthiest. This is the difference that we can make over a 3-month period. Imagine this same difference in greenhouses all over the world. And there are 5 billion square meters of greenhouses worldwide. Just the glass greenhouse market retrofit is £3 billion, and that's only one of the markets that we can target. We will make our first sales in the Netherlands, the trendsetters in agri-tech, and we will go global from there. We're primarily B2B. We will sell our active material to paint manufacturers that will in turn sell to the growers. We will have major trials, hectare scale, in 2025, and that's to convince the grower that our product works at their scale. At a low cost of 85 pence per metre squared, and due to its high scalability, we expect revenues of £45 million by 2031. And we are the team that will make that happen. Our CEO, Niall Hogan, a chartered financial analyst, myself, a physicist with more than a decade experience in startups, and a fantastic team out of MIT, Cambridge, Cranfield, and a suite of professors of plant scientists and sustainable chemists. They all believe in our vision. So I'd like to leave you with 2 final thoughts. One, decreasing the cost of greenhouse food will increase nutrition equality. And second, decreasing the amount of land given to greenhouses will increase the amount of land we leave to nature. So, with that in mind, will you join us to make the food on your table more sustainable? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Monica. Now to our questions. Zeke, I know you didn't get a chance to ask in the last one, so I'll come to you first.
Yes, I'm aware of a company in Bristol called Albatherm that are doing something quite similar. Can you talk a bit about the competitive landscape and what your innovation is within that?
Sure, they're our friends. We're actually going to do a trial together in a few days' time. They're going to incorporate their active material into theirs. What they do is they block out sunlight so that you don't get as much heat into a greenhouse. Whilst we are converting sunlight, we're doing two things actually. We're converting sunlight, the UV to red, but we are also diffusing light, so more leaves can see more light at different angles. So where you've got lots of leaves, they're covering each other, they're shadowing each other, so the leaves down below can't see as much light. So we're doing that as well. So we are augmenting what they've got, and we can work together. Other competition, I would say UbiQD come closest. They're based in America. They're great, but the product is very expensive. So it's only accessible to very few. And unfortunately, Agri is a very, budget kind of industry. So their product is around 30 pounds per square meter, whilst ours will be sold at something closer to £5 at most. But we're planning to drive the cost down even further.
Fantastic answer, thank you.
Yeah.
Jess?
What has been your initial feedback from the growers? Because obviously they're going to be a huge part of whether your product takes shape.
Yeah, they're intrigued. So we've talked to a few. One of them in particular was Dyson Farming. They said, when can we start? Which is great. So they want to do some trials with us. We've got some planned. So what they said to us was that because what we do can also increase the sweetness in fruits, it's something that they really aim for because they go for supermarkets like Marks and Spencer's, for example, the sort of higher end, top quality kind of produce. So those we're getting a lot of traction with, I would say. Other growers have said that the price seems reasonable for the kind of value we add. Yeah, that's as far as I go with that, but we're planning to talk to many more growers.
Amazing. So you were saying that initially you want to launch it with in Netherlands, right, or with the Dutch, or they're going to be your first client base.
Yeah.
When do you envision this happening, and what have been the challenges leading up until this point in terms of taking the product to market?
Yeah. So we are hoping to carry out these trials, these massive trials in 2025 in the Netherlands. So there's some institutes up there which have several acres worth of greenhouses. I mean, the Dutch, they're a massive powerhouse for Agri. So that's why we're starting there. And because they've got a number of more academic-oriented, if you like, test sites, it means that we can truly test, the quality of the produce that comes out to a degree that a grower in the Netherlands will believe that our product works, which is quite something that's like a mark of approval that many others will follow. If they start, the others will follow. So that's why we're doing that. In terms of where we are, we're pretty much TRL 5, and these large tests will take us to TRL 6, we envision. And yeah, the 25K would go a long way because we also have to keep the lights switched on until the next big investment, which we're hoping for is £1 million. 1.5 would be best, but around £1 million to match the Innovate UK grants. We've won too many grants. The government loves us. we need more private money to match that. So, but yeah.
Amazing.
So. Mike?
Thank you. I mean, it's a great idea. It really is. I love it. And the most important number was your 9% yield increase, I guess, and everything that you said, isn't it? How confident are you in that? And obviously the trials will tell you a bit more, but how do you know it's not 1%?
Okay, so there's publications, there's our competitors, and that's what we've done. I can talk about all three. The academics have gone all the way to 40% increase in crop yields through just changing the spectrum of the light, so giving more red light to plants. So that's one. Two, the competitors are claiming 20%. I'm not saying we believe them, but we've got a few. We've got 4 main competitors, and they're all claiming around 20%. We don't see the publications relating to that, but there's the claims. And then number 3 is what we've done, which is the 9.3% increase in crop yields. That was all done at the University of Cranfield in 8 greenhouses. So 4 were coated, 4 uncoated, and we've seen the difference. So it was all measured with dry weight, so the most, the most accurate of the measurements that they can do with Basel. And that's where they noticed the 9.3% increase in crop yield. And there was a statistically significant 10% increase in the broadness of the basil leaves, which is quite attractive for basil, I suppose.
Brilliant. Thank you. Well answered. And thank you for your pitch. And thank you once again to our judges. Well done. Round of applause.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay. So, second place in the startup category. Is Lambda Agri.
I want